Ira Thor with you for another NCAA Division III week Alumni Conversation. And today we bring you former NJCU women's bowling standout Amy Brehm, class of 2012, a three-year bowler for the Gothic Knights from 2009 through 2012. Amy, welcome to Division III week Alumni Conversations.
Hi, nice to see you.
So first and foremost, how are you doing during this unprecedented time in our lives?
It's been a really interesting way of adapting to now our everyday life. My career has totally turned upside down, going from being in a classroom every day to now teaching virtually and remotely. It's such a different way of life for me.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit more about what you're doing professionally and how you've adjusted now to this virtual platform as a teacher. But I want to go back in time. And for you, it's not that long ago. It's only a decade ago. But
it feels like a long time ago, though.
Does it? Well,
yeah.
A decade ago, you were wearing green and gold. You started your career as a bowler at Kutztown Division II, and then you transferred over and played 3 years for the Gothic Knights. What led to your decision to come and join Coach Thompson and Coach Parisi? Actually, back then, Frank was the head coach and Frank was the assistant. I know they swap roles now. But what was behind your decision to become a Gothic Knight?
I think the biggest thing that I wanted was to be a little bit closer to home. I wanted a smaller campus and more of a smaller classroom size, because it wasn't just about sports for me, but it was about academics and what I was going to do after school ended too. So I wanted to have the best of both worlds there.
What are your most fond memories of your time competing for the bowling program during really some of the great years in the program's history?
I think, of course, my fondest memory was being part of the last team to make NCAA nationals for bowling, and that was back in 2010. And that was not only like my best year as far as bowling, but I really, really jived with those girls, and I still keep in touch with many of them today.
How cool was it that year in 2010? You were part of two teams that made the NCAA tournament, but how cool was it to compete for a national championship basically in your backyard? Because we hosted the championship in North Brunswick that year.
Yeah, I mean, that was my home house. That's where I grew up. That's where I learned how to bowl. So it was just a great experience to be back home and to have that hometown support, and for it to be in New Jersey, really.
What about being coached by Frank and Rusty and just the impact that they had on you?
Frank and Rusty over the years have not just supported me in my bowling career. I mean, Rusty's taught me so much over the years as far as bowling, but they really helped me to be just like a better human being, a better teacher, and a better coach as well.
So after you conclude your career on the lanes, you've moved into the classroom. Tell us about why you wanted to move into a career in education.
So I knew that when I started to pick up bowling when I was in high school, that I always wanted to be a teacher and a coach. I enjoyed just being a part of sports and all the lessons they taught me. And I, of course, have known since I was a small child that I wanted to teach. So bringing those two worlds together was something that I was very passionate about.
So what are you doing now? I know you're in East Brunswick teaching and coaching, but tell us more about that.
This is my 7th year teaching. I teach 8th and 9th grade history right now. Previously, I spent 6 years teaching 7th grade history, and I've been coaching the girls varsity team for 8 years now.
How are you guys doing on the lanes with you now in the role of head coach? How's the East Brunswick team?
We've had a lot of success over the years. Most recently, we made the state finals team this year. We were North 2 sectional champions. We've spent a lot of time being sectional champions over the years. ranked top 20 in the state consistently. So I have a lot of girls who either they're coming out of other sports or learning how to bowl for the first time, or like I have some very, very talented girls looking to compete at a collegiate level too. And it's just that wide range. It just keeps the passion burning for me each year to keep getting better and to help my girls get better each year.
Well, if you got some girls who you feel are ready to compete at the collegiate level, I know a program that would love to have them.
I'm trying.
Make that phone call. I think you might know the coaches.
I think so too.
All right. So the fun part of this past fall, you made a little news on the lanes again, as you were part of this Bowlero series, and here a little birdie told me you won $65,000. Tell us about what it was like to be part of that experience. First of all, how did you even get selected and qualify?
So I received an email from my mom back in June, and she's like, you should apply for this. And at first I was like, what is this thing? And then I clicked and I looked around, and I had watched the video from the first installment of the series, and I was like, okay, this looks fun. Let me just send in a video. So on the last day of the school year, when I had everything packed up in my classroom ready to go, I had recorded a video that I just sent into Bowlero. And then about 3 weeks later, I got a call saying, do you have time for an interview? And I was like, sure, why not? Thinking like I had to go through this whole interview process. It was going to take weeks. And there they had asked me a few questions. And at the end, they were like, do you want to be part of the second Bowlero Elite Series? And I was like, sure, why not? It was in North Brunswick, which at Bowlero, same place that we had nationals about 10 years ago. So I just went for it, and I had been practicing all summer. Rusty came back and coached me, and he spent some time working to refine some of my skills, and I just put it all together at the right time.
And then you went not just from being a participant, but you went all the way through the ladder and won the entire amateur part of the tournament.
I did win the amateur component of it. It consisted of 2 qualifying matches. It was like a step ladder. So then I had 1 championship amateur match on TV that I had won, and then I was able to bowl against one of the pros in the finals. And unfortunately, I came up a little short, but I gave it my all there.
You had a great run. What did you do with the money?
To be honest, I haven't spent any of the money. I had plans to go on vacation last week, but of course that didn't happen. So just saving it a little bit longer, let it collect some interest in there.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a smart thing. Save the money and then go on a trip when we're all allowed to go on vacations again. What about Rusty? And now obviously he's back as our head coach, but how much of an impact did he have during that prep process? You know, you guys had such a great connection when he was your coach as an undergrad. For him to be able to help you now as an alumni must have been really cool.
I mean, I give him so much credit for my success. He's taught me so much. He still continues to this day when he's coaching me to put up with my attitude and my emotions that I continue to throw out on the lanes, but he does it with a lot of ease and a lot of pride, and it's just, you know, I can't thank him enough for all the success that I've had over the years.
We're blessed to have him back as our head coach, and Frank as our associate coach, as they have flipped roles from back when you were being coached by them. The last part of obviously this being NCAA Division III week, want to touch on what being a Division III student athlete meant to you and how it shaped your life.
Being a Division III athlete gave me the opportunity to succeed in both athletics and academics. It gave me that small hometown feel of a university that really took pride and really cared about their students on so many different levels.
Awesome. Amy, thank you so much for joining us here as part of our NCAA Division 3-week Alumni Conversations. We're glad you're doing well, and congratulations again on being the amateur Bowlero champion this past fall. It was a lot of fun to watch you on TV.
Thank you so much.